Yeah, Raphael Chamaka Jerry here, Pastor Vam Vam Vam. I decided to choose this location to make this very quick addendum to the video I'm about to project to you, because it's a beautiful flowered background and in a functioning environment, because I am not in the Zoological Republic. I am not in the country that have already sunk, of which we Biafrans already escaped that Titanic before it sank. And there are some people that are still living in denial, that do not want to agree and admit that it already sank. Well, this our brother here that I'm going to project his video have enumerated so many things that will show you that you are living in a sunk or a sinking ship. As he admits that it's a sinking ship, but we know that it sank even before yesterday. That is why, if you watch this video, you need to jump on into this Biafra ship, because if you are thinking of fixing that ship, go and watch Titanic. The bragging that Titanic could not ship did not save it. The formation of Titanic and the founder of Titanic, who boasted that it could not sink, that did not save it. It sank anyway. Nigeria is gone. Save yourself before you are buried with it completely. So watch this video, share it, and make it go viral. Credit goes to Dr. Charles Apoki, who made this revelation, who is crying and who is calling, thinking that there will be a solution or salvation to this ship. Dr. Charles, nothing can save it. You are a Biafran. Join the moving train and let's get out of that place. Save yourself, because if you don't, you will continue to tell these stories. Next year, you will repeat this story again and again and again. That is if Nigeria will survive up till next year. Raphael Chamaka Jere here. Please watch this video, share, and make it go viral. I love you all. Peace out.
I have a heavy burden in my heart, and I am worried. My nation is sinking. And just like the Titanic, the elites are whining and drinking, but we are about to hit an iceberg, and there are not enough life jackets, there are not enough lifeboats, because the builder of the Titanic in 1912 said that even God cannot sink this ship over confidence and over assumption. Nigeria is sinking. I know why. I have the right to say that. I was born before independence, and I enjoyed the good of this nation. It was the good of this nation that has made me who I am today. That as the son of a refuse collector, I could go to medical school. The best in the Commonwealth as at that time, or one of the best. I could go to one of the best secondary schools in the world and one of the best higher schools where I did HSC, Federal Government College, Warri. I schooled with the children of the elite. I ate like an elite. And I had the best of this country. That's why I have stayed. That's why I have invested so much here. And that's why I am talking. In those days, we could travel to the UK just with ID card to do part of our posting in Guy's Hospital, London. I didn't go, but my classmates went. They didn't need a visa. Today, our children are crossing the desert to go pick tomatoes in Italy, and a lot of them are drowning. Today, our passports is treated like trash. And to travel out of this country is as if you want to escape from hell. The number of documents you need to submit, the investigations you need to go through before you travel out of this country is like you want to enter heaven from hell. It's painful. Some of the painful things that our young ones have no hope. That's why our citizens in the north could fly Russian flags in their own country. That's why they could call for Russia to intervene. Our nation is sinking. That's why northern youths had the audacity to be begging military men for regime change, which is unconstitutional, which no person should approve of. Our country is sinking. That when young men in the country protested for hunger for 10 days, bad governance for 10 days, they rolled out the security apparatus from all over Nigeria to shoot at their own youths, to tear gas them who are hungry. But just after that, a country that has very few medical doctors to take care of 200 and something million people, medical students were traveling for a conference in Enugu. They were kidnapped by dirty illiterates. We don't know where they are, and they are demanding for money. It is sad that a former commissioner, the wife of one big lawyer in my state who wanted to be a governor, I just use wife because she still answers his name, was kidnapped in a church and a ransom was demanded. Nothing is sacred in this country. A commissioner with his wife and his aide traveling by road to Abuja for the wedding of the governor of Anambra State were kidnapped. The aide was killed. Like the one in Delta State, the security man was killed and they've just been released. It is sickening that a medical doctor in the eye hospital in Kaduna, that people went to the hospital premises, their residence, and carried a doctor, his wife, and the nephew. And for more than 7 months, they have not been released. And doctors are protesting all over Nigeria and have threatened to go on strike. It is sickening to note that the same policemen who were mobilized to tear gas their children, to tear gas their wives, to tear gas their parents, started protesting in one of the South states for their salaries that have not been paid. Imagine policemen protesting. That's security dysfunctionality. I was watching on television the biggest yam market in the world, Zaki Yam, where Major General Malo comes from, is desolate because the farmers can't go to the farm. They can't access their farms. It is sickening that Ayati, a community in Benue State, was invaded and several people killed. They've not seen some of their corpses till today, and the town is empty. It's sickening that several parts. I was discussing with a Hausa man who is from one of the states in the north. He said Fulanis have driven them from their communities. They can't access their home towns. That foreigners are now occupying our land, and we have a military that swore to protect the integrity of this country. It is sickening that you can't travel our roads Our roads are terrible. I've not had electricity here, public power supply, for days. I generate my own power. I've not had public water supply since I came to this town 24 years back. I generate my own water. It is sickening that when you go to hospitals, you are told to buy everything, including bandage and plaster, and syringes and needle. It is sickening that a nation that is one of the greatest producers of crude oil sold their oil in advance to borrow money and squander. Now, the refineries that are built in the land that has oil will need to buy crude oil from other countries or buy from the multinationals that will give a certain percentage to. It is sickening that we have several refineries, none of them is functional. We'll keep postponing the dates. Port Harcourt refinery will be operational at this date. Port Harcourt, it is sickening that there are 24 oil wells in my mother's community here, just 10 minutes drive from here. Another one from my father's mother, her village, and all the communities here, Agbara, Fisiri, Ufoma, all oil wells. We queue to buy petrol, PMS. I bought 900 naira per liter. It is sickening that we are degenerating. Somebody had a certificate from Nigeria. He went somewhere. He ended up as a security guard. That people don't value our certificates. I feel sad. What saddens me most is to see people on the television defending this gross inadequacy, dysfunctionality, and failure. It is sickening to see that young men and women, just because they come from where certain politicians come from, or they belong to the political parties that these corrupt politicians come from, inefficient, slow-thinking minds. This country does not require rocket science to change it. I mean it. Just requires a bold person. It is sickening that when you make these videos, those malicious people will be the ones to come and attack you. And they are poorer than I am. It is sickening when a professor was talking that his salary is about $300. That is $30. That is $10 per day. That is 1 hour work in the United States. Well, I was called a deputy vice chancellor was saying that his salary is $300 a month. I don't know of his allowances, but a senator is taking home 21 million naira every month. They have impoverished the intelligentsia. No wonder INEC, the returning officers and all that, who are professors, can rig elections for politicians because poverty has been weaponized against them. It is sickening that the judiciary is being investigated because of abuse of the judicial process. It is sickening that we live in a country where when you wake up, it is frustration, bad news that wakes you up. It is sickening that the so-called men of God, God's generals, are mute, even those who protested before. It is sickening that they are now friends and parasites on those who are destroying this nation. And when you talk, people will say that you are attacking their geos. Do you have common sense? Do you have common sense? Do you have common sense? It is sickening that we have all this prosperity gospel and only about 4% of Nigerians have 500,000 naira as savings in their accounts. That is less than $400 in their savings accounts. And every day we are sowing seeds. Every day they are telling us the secret of divine wealth. And we are seeing outrageous banners all over the place. And they disturb me with their noise of their prayers. It is sickening that these men who are killing this nation, they have permanent residency permits in different nations with their children and their wives, including the so-called God's generals, GOs, that you people are defending and protecting. Sickening that when the bad governance protest was about to come, our legislators, our politicians started fleeing away. Sickening that our presidential jets could be seized in France. Our nation is sinking. Who will save this great nation? With great minds, great talents. We went for Olympics, we didn't come with any medal. And somebody drew a cartoon that we were called to come and say the closing prayer. Somebody carried a big Quran and a big Bible. Religion has become the assassin of the intellect of the average Nigerian. Who will save this my wonderful country?